Hello everyone. Today I'm going to continue with making embossing pastes. Yesterday I made a twinkly one using my homemade embossing paste plus some Glimmer dust, which is a very fine twinkly glitter. This is it. Very fine, very pretty. Just sprinkling that on the top, and I achieved what I thought was a lovely effect. But today I thought I would try and do the same thing, but make a black one. Here is a Nouveau one. I haven't actually opened this yet. It's still got its seal on. And I think that probably, let's open it and just have a look. I think that probably these ones are slightly more translucent than the one I can't even get into it. The one I make. So let's just take a look, see if we can see. Well, look, there's only half a jar full there. Look at it. And it was really expensive. I bought these, I have to say, I bought three. I bought a silver, a black and a white in a bundle, and it was very much reduced from full price. I don't actually remember what I paid, but when I looked yesterday online to see the cost of a pack of Glimmer pastes, they were about, I don't know, £6. I can't remember what they were, but they struck me as being a lot of money. So that is the proprietary one. I might try that on a bit of something and just see what the effect is. But today I thought I'd just, rather than just making the paste, which I have done a video of how to make the paste, so I can put a link at the bottom for that. Today I thought I'd just try and make a card with it and see. And I've dug out these dies. These are some from Gummiapan, which I've not actually used before. This one is from... it's just a piece of ribbon. It's from one of the last year's Advent series. So it's limited edition, no longer available. But with these ones, I'm not sure if I got these on sale or cheaper or what, but I've had them a while but not used them. And if you do have this kind of die that's got like an outline with bits in the middle, you can choose lots of ways of dealing with them. You can either use them just as the outline, like this one, or you can put the pieces back in. I've got a little piece of tape on the back just to keep them together, or you could put coloured pieces in. You could stack and make the outside more prominent. The world's your onion, or whatever it is. So, you know, there are lots of ways of you know, varying how you use the die cuts. Today, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I think I'm going to do white. But I've dug out this stencil, which I think is really useful. And this is from, where does it say? Here. thecraftersworkshop.com. I wish every company would put their name on their stencil. So if anybody asks, all you have to do is look and not try and find a packet to see where it came from. So I have a fancy for using this one. I have made my own black version of embossing paste. Just made a small amount and it's in my pot here. For this, I used black acrylic paint. I used this thing, 1 spoon of that, white glue, PVA glue. I used 2 of these in there. And then I added talcum powder. And I didn't actually measure this. I sprinkled it in and sprinkled it in until I found a consistency that I thought was about right for embossing paste. So I actually don't know how much of that is. But if you want the recipe, as I say, I will put it at the bottom. You can use, of course, any colour that you want of acrylic paint. With this, I intend adding, I looked through my, I'll show you this. This is my glitter store. So I looked through this and I've got several blacks, but this one has got, I don't know, it looks the most coarse. I thought I would try that. So, first things first, I have cut a card, I've cut a panel, so I'm going to start to try and do my embossing on there first of all. I'm doing that first because obviously this will take time to set to dry. So I may not be able to assemble the whole card today, but just give you an idea of what I'm going to do and then put the finished card on the community page, on my YouTube channel, on Instagram, on my Facebook page, etc, etc. So this is the one I fancy. So what I have in mind is this, a blob of stenciling about here somewhere. Then I fancy having these couple of blooms, I don't know, like this somehow maybe. Just trying to get positioning here. And on the ribbon, I fancy a piece of ribbon across there with just a little message. What I've done here is tried out hello, and I would just have that on foam tape. So let's just go ahead and see what we're going to do. So about there I have a fancy for. So I'll get some low tack tape because I want to mask off the bits I don't want black on. So first of all, I'd like to get these lines parallel because they are in rows. I'd like to get them parallel with the edge of the card. So I'm just looking here to see that I'm parallel, and I'm going to put that over the top there. I'm going to keep the card, the panel still. Now, I don't want interference here. I don't want these two, and I don't want that bit there. So I'm going to cover that up. And I'm also going to cover this little bit here, just in case I go a bit where I shouldn't. Okay. So now I've isolated. It looks a bit like surgery, doesn't it? When they just have the bit they want to operate on show. Right. Let's go. Here I have my paste. Here I have a palette knife. Don't need too much, actually. So let's just spread this through. There we go. That's all there is to it. Just scrape that bit up. Okay. Now, if you're working where you're nowhere near a sink, it's as well to have a little tub of water to pop your stencil into, because we don't want this drying on the stencil. We don't want it going hard. So just a quick tip, have a little box. I usually keep an ice cream tub handy just to pop these things into with a drop of water. Now, while this is, oh Lord, look at my fingers. While it is still tacky, still damp, wet, whatever, I'm going to sprinkle on some of my glitter. Someone today suggested mixing the glitter in with the paste, but you're kind of limited then to what colour glitter you put in. Plus you'll need a lot more to show up if you are mixing it in rather than just sprinkling it on. Now, I picked up that stencil rather I got it all over my fingers, so I've just got to make sure my fingers are reasonably clean before I touch the card again. Okay, now here's my glitter. I'm going to use a piece of paper because any excess I can try and shoot back into the pot. So rather than sprinkling out the top of this, I'm taking the whole top off. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a little shimmy because I want it to stick to all the bits. Give it a flick. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? What I like about this one are these little tiny bits at the edge. There are tiny little holes around that bit. See these here? The tiny bits. I think that's just... But look at it. Isn't that something? Put it on one side for a moment while I just get this back into the pot. There's a lot of very fine glitter on here. Try again. There we go. All over the table. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to wipe it up. Okay. Now, I'm going to think about what I want to do with the flowers. And what I have a fancy of doing is actually putting a layer on top, leaving that edge more prominent. I don't think I'm going to add any colour. I think I will just stick one on top of the other like that, and that edge will just give it a bit of relief. So get out my glue. This is my Nuvo broad glue pen, and I'm not going to do I very often glue on the bottom and put the top one on, but because I've got those stuck in, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to glue on the back of this one. So there we go. They are versatile, these dies. So say there's so many ways you can treat them. You could put a, like I did with the butterfly yesterday, have a gold edge if you want, and an interesting bit of background as the flower colour. Or you can colour them with markers or paint or luscious powders or whatever. Lots and lots of choices. That's not stuck now. I should have pressed a bit harder. I think that's got it. I'm just going to give the mat a quick wipe because of that glitter. I don't really want it all over the place. Okay. Let's give it a wipe dry. There we go. Right, now let's do the little one. I'll do it over here perhaps. There we are. If you want it more prominent, you can always add an extra layer, whatever. Okay. I'm not quite sure how long this will take to dry, but as you saw, I've got so much glitter, it's probably quite a good way of using up a lot of my store. This isn't going on very well, is it? I prefer, actually, Zig. The ink seems to be, I don't know, slightly thicker. I bought this one because it says you can use it with, what's it called? Gilding flakes, that's it. I found the remnants of some gilding flakes the other day. I have to find a use for those. So, just simple, like this. Let's just have a look, see what it's going to look like. There's my card. that's my background. I'm going to put that onto, well, I might put it onto foam tape. I'm not sure. I'm just going to place this on for the minute, just so we can see the sort of thing that we're thinking of. Try not to mess that embossing up. And then, what do you think? Simple as anything, isn't it? And that was so quick to make. Of course, you don't need to make very much. You don't need to make a whole recipe. You can just, you know what the ingredients are. You just add them to suit your purposes. But I think that's kind of cool, don't you? The hello it's from Clearly Besotted, one of their sets I've had for donkey's years. But what I chose to do, once I'd stamped it with VersaFine, I clear embossed it so that that's got shine, which links with the shine from the twinkle on the embossing paste. So there we go. I think that's kind of cool. I have to wait until that's set, and then I will complete the card, as I said, and add it to my community page, my Facebook page, and Instagram. So, have fun with that embossing. Thanks for watching.